You will never be ready to make a decision. You just have to make the decision based on everything you know. Hi guys, my name is Lisa or Lily, and I figured that I would make a video because my sister and a lot of her friends, as well as me when I was in high school, trying to figure out what I wanted to study, and then also people that don't know what they want to do in their career. I want to share my perspective on things, and I'm no way a certified, I don't know, coach or career, whatever. But I just feel like there's a lot of wisdom that I've accumulated over the amount of knowledge that I've consumed. And I say that in philosophical terms because after taking philosophy, I realized that every decision you make, you'll never know if it's the correct one. And only after you make them, you will actually realize they were a good or a bad decision. Like, non-emotional and very strategic person when it comes to thinking. But recently, tapping into why I feel certain emotions really helped me guide my decisions on what I want to do. And at least I know I want to help people. And so after a few months, I'm back. I hope that I can create a lot of service for y'all. But my love for fashion, psychology, law, and business have been really amazing, but also detrimental, just really hard because I can't pick a career. And what I came to realize is there honestly isn't going to be a career for me. It's the one I make for myself, and it's for people like entrepreneurs and people that don't want to go into the regular route, is how I'm thinking. But that's not always the case because you also need to have a certain skill and a certain level of security when it comes to picking what you want to actually do. It isn't always just how you feel. But I do think it's a good way to guide how your emotions are because when I was only in business, which is what I first signed up to do, signed up, I was really stressed the whole time. I mean, it's also partly my fault for not being able to manage my workload, but I feel like there's a factor of it in there where it was only tying me down. But I realized that after taking the classes, only after, right? I didn't only want to do that. I went and I studied a psychology class, intro psych, and honestly, it took me a really long time to conclude that I actually want to do a double major. So a second year now, I'm doing a double major in psych and management, and a minor in law and a minor in history because I think I would love to open that up when I decide to tell you guys what I want to do. But all I have to say is you really don't have to know exactly what you want to do. I feel like it should be your guidance. Oops, sorry. Let me do that. Your guidance and your way of just letting your soul know that it's actually being at service and actually being able to help other people. Because at the end of the day, it is good to do what you want, but you will have a moment in your life where you want to do this for a greater purpose. And oftentimes, after you go through the fact that you want to prove other people wrong, you want to show that you can actually do it yourself, and maybe that you want to experience things, you'll realize, honestly, regardless of what you will realize that you want to help other people because there's more in you, and I know that there are things that you want to accomplish, but also guide other people to do more. All I have to say is pick what you would like. You don't have to know what you want to do. I actually decided that I just really liked studying psychology. There's nothing wrong with it because there's also the thing where it's like psychology isn't a real science. But I disagree. I think honestly, if anyone could, it is so important to understand your own mind as well as others. It doesn't only just help you guide your way through work, but it also helps you think about how to think. It's so I feel like it's so damaging sometimes when you are studying but you're actually not learning, and only after I studied a few psych courses I realized how to actually learn. And I feel like this concept goes along with everything. There's no way to do so much research and to not waste your time but accumulate so much time, where honestly it would have been just easier if you go into the program and then make your decisions based on the experiences you had. Another point I wanted to make is I want you to be very careful because I'm really honestly, I don't want to even make this sound bad, but I'm really grateful for the fact that both my parents, I don't have any restrictions onto what I have to do because I'm able to actually just pick what I want and be a little spontaneous and unaware about the consequences. I feel like because I'm going into management, it's not a traditional business route where people tend to go into finance, accounting, or something that's a little bit more competitive. I'm only taking it for me. And I feel like I want to, like, I don't want to say inspire, but at least show that it's possible to just take something for yourself. We are so influenced by even the people we admire, the people we don't know, and even like internal, like our unconscious brain just telling us what we need to do. I wouldn't say I'm fully aware of everything, but I think at least I have that privilege to not be influenced by my parents because they didn't go to university or higher education where they know a certain path leads to a certain route of success, and I can freely choose to fail, and that's okay because it's not the end of the world, and it will be what makes you unique for other people. That brings me to my last point. I think that it's actually better for you to take courses based on just your pure interest and that you're good at. I don't think it should be just for fun, but I think interest is important because when you're learning and when there's actual changes being happening in like psychology, we call that neuroplasticity. And I'm not like super like pro at explaining it, but to say that in a very simple way, it's your neural connections that are being connected every time you are in the balance of learning. And I want to explain that by being learning is not too hard and it's not too easy. It's just in the middle. It's just challenging enough where you actually accumulate knowledge that transfers into wisdom over time. And I think that's what makes you individually unique. And we should all strive to be unique because what makes a business student unique from the other? They have different ideas, they have different interests. That's how employers want to employ you. And honestly, if you're in the route to want to start your own anything, company, business, social media, it doesn't really matter. I think ultimately we all have to start our own project. And imagine if you're able to create something so wonderful, so new, so vibrant that it consists of all the skills you've accumulated over your interest. Let me just break this down from my experience. I wanted to do fashion, and so I designed clothes, and I first went into business because after that clothing design, I learned about trend analysis and I learned about how to actually pick clothes based on what would sell or even accessories on what would sell. And then now I'm into psychology, and this is a different form of marketing because we need obviously to get people to know or to at least entice them to buy. There's so many forms of impulsive purchases where I learned it through working in retail for like 4+ years. And after studying psychology, you really, and as well as business, you really know why people buy. And I want to be able to offer my products where it isn't just about impulse buying, but it's more about solving an issue that they have in their life. And being able to see students wear my thrifted clothes, to be specific, because I haven't designed anything on Canvas, it really, really, truly makes me happy. I'll put a link on my business down below. But I'm just saying, all these skills make you better at what you do. And you can't, honestly, it would feel very overwhelming when you're in that position of cluelessness. But trust me, it gets better. After a while, you realize they all connect. Right now, I'm into the path of just rebranding, and I'm taking classes that like out of the blue kind of like I'm gonna take a painting class next semester, and I feel like that will just regenerate my brain every time I do something very cognitive. And I just really hope that at least this message gives you a clear outline of what you don't have to do. You don't have to research that much. Honestly, there's lots of things where you kind of know the answer yourself. You don't have to waste your time looking through everything. And that exact quote that I'm going to give you from my English teacher. Two things. If you're stressed and you don't know what to do, just go on a walk. You just without music, without a podcast, without interruptions, prefer it would be preferable if it was in nature, but if you could just go on a walk or just calm your brain, your answers will be there. And the second thing is you already know what you want. I think that there was a study where students rated professors based on a second of interaction, a minute, 10 minutes, an hour, and a month, and all of them gave the same exact response. You already make a decision the second you see something. And obviously, there are other decisions I think that strengthen what you already know. And at the point of overexhausting yourself with knowledge doesn't actually teach you how to make decisions. Just make that decision and regret things later. And honestly, if you take it with a grain of salt, I honestly, to be deep down, have almost no regrets. Everything has taught me a lesson, and without making this sound cringy, but it really, really does help because every time you fail, it really tests your grit and how fast you come back. I think on my other podcasts I will be posting, I will really explain how I recovered back from literally getting a 16% first semester and so now getting like at least passing grades, but like in the 70s. And I really had to relearn how to learn because high school was really much a trap for me. I took everything online, but I wouldn't have, how would I have been able to know that? Because we are stuck in this, oh, I was stuck in this mindset where, okay, it's going to be the same way of learning in high school. So I took classes that were way too difficult for me at the time, and I didn't plan and I didn't strategize how I was studying. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without just doing what I'm used to. It's great to stick with things you already know, but trust me, the second that things get uncomfortable, be in that discomfort. You do not want to put yourself in a room where you're the most smart. You want to be almost the most stupidest person there. That is when you actually grow and learn. And without taking risks and without just even based on your feeling alone allows you to build that confidence because there was three things. Oh my god, there's such a random spill of knowledge here, but you can be pretty or look good looking. You could be knowledgeable. Whoa, that was too knowledgeable, okay? But what you may lack is your own confidence and charisma. Without these three balances, you will not be able to take action because you have knowledge. Confidence is in decision making without fearing other people, without fearing your own past, and without regretting. You need those three, and that takes time to build. Slow and small risks are better than big astronomical ones that you do regret. But without taking any risks, you will regret everything. I hope this video helped, regardless if you're going to school, regardless if you're just picking a career or making a major decision. These things have really helped me in the past, and I hope it does serve you a little bit. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.